super excited today because we are on a wee road trip to go to see my sister and my nephews, who I haven't seen for 2 years since they last came out to Canada. So I am super excited, and we'll take you along with us and see what adventures we get into.
What was it you said about it now? It was like Christmas?
Yeah, it felt like Christmas Eve last night, and it feels like Christmas this morning. And we've got Callum with us, who is just there. He is. There's Callum. He's coming for the adventure too.
And hopefully we'll remember to drive on the right side of the road.
Well, we already are, aren't we?
Left side of the road.
See, the right side of the road.
The right, left side of the road.
Right, left, right.
Hate it when my doubts and my fears swell up like the ocean. It feels like I could drown in my tears. Everything's overflowing. Scared that I won't get it right, get it right. My nerves are working overtime. Tell myself to calm down and breathe. Step out of the shadows into the fire. Don't be afraid to go out on a wire. Live in the moment, turn it louder. This is what you're made for. You just gotta be fearless.
Why? So that the cars don't come on this bit.
Mum, have you ever been this far?
So I thought I'd chat to you today while I'm making my sourdough loaf, because it was part of a journey that I started last year in Canada, and I wanted to do something, homesteady, and I started the sourdough journey, and I know it was a big fad in 2020, when the pandemic hit and stuff, and we kind of tried it but didn't make a good go at it. So I wanted to have another go at it, and I've had my sourdough starter for a year, so I wanted to try and bring it back over to the UK. So I actually dried it out and it came over in a little freezer bag, all dried out, and then I've spent the last 10 days or so rehydrating and getting Joseph, which is his name, going, and now he's doubling in size. So actually I put up, I don't know if you can see, let's see if you can see, will it focus? Yeah, see how there's a little black line here on the pot? It's now doubling in the size. In fact, he's just peaked and is coming back down at the moment. So he's ready to make some sourdough, and I make sourdough in a very loose way. I don't make the perfect loaf every time, and I totally just I've learned the process, I understand how it works, and now I just do it my way. And then the loaves are never that consistent because there's so many variables with sourdough. So the most important part is the strong starter. So that's my little starter, and then last night I made in a bigger jar, like a bigger amount of it. I think they call it a levain, and that's what I'm going to put into my dough today. And just about an hour ago I put together a bowl with just the flour and some warm water, and then I've let that rest for an hour, and that seems to help it to, it's the gluten in the flour. If you're working it too hard, it needs time to rest. I love sourdough because it's so slow. it's very intentional, it's slow, you can't rush it, and it feels like it's a living thing, it is, I suppose it is in a way, but yeah, so I'm just gonna put together the actual loaf, and I'm a little bit nervous because there's no oven here. I've just got a Ninja Combi to use as the oven, and yes, Callan, you have an opinion, and so I've looked at recipes of someone who's made it in the Ninja Combi, so fingers crossed I can emulate that and it works, because this is all new extra variables. And obviously I've got new flour, there's chlorinated water here, so I've actually used some bottled water just to make sure my sourdough starter gets a good start. Yeah, I'm gonna start adding what I need to add, including some, put on the scales, falling off the scales, some salt. I didn't want it to be too instructional because there's plenty of instructions out there on the internet, and if you're keen to know, I can do that, but really there's plenty of instructions out there. I just kind of want to show you that it doesn't have to be, I don't have all fancy tools, and it doesn't have to be done in a fancy way. Let me get a spoon. It's more about the process and just making things work for you than anything else. So this is the starter going in. Looks like I'm going to be able to use it all. Oops. Now the dirty bit, into the kneading. Oops. A bit of a rickety table. My tea mug's get over spill. So yeah, the flour is different here compared to the Canadian flour. The Canadian flour was really dry and quite dense, and I can already feel the dough feels different, so it feels wetter, so we'll see how it goes. I did kind of adjust the water amount a little bit, but not much. So yeah, there's so many variables. Let's hope this works out, because otherwise I'll just have to keep trying until I get the Scottish sourdough on the go in a way that works. And I can feel like it's firming up now. It's sort of come together. It's like a bit shaggy, the dough, but that's kind of how it's meant to be. It's quite wet, and that's just, again, I maybe put a little bit too much moisture, but we'll see. We'll see. But it's coming, it's like feels firmer, it's coming together. So for me, that's always kind of enough. And then it can go and rest for half an hour as I slam it into the table. Yeah. I'm actually putting it in a smaller bowl because I found that just a minute ago. The strange thing about using someone else's kitchen and someone else's stuff is kind of making do with what you find. Okay. See you in half an hour. In half an hour already, flies by. Just wet my hands because it's still sticking to me. And I literally just do a bit of stretch and fold. Just pull up, down. Takes like 2 seconds to do, but an important part of the process. Yeah, this every half an hour. I will save you from me recording this every half an hour, and yeah, we'll reconvene again when it's ready for the next phase of baking. Okay, morning, it's the next day, and I may have not filmed the end of making the bread yesterday because I may have forgotten, and then I'm not sure how the loaf's going to be. It's a little slack, it's not going to build as much gluten as I wanted, so we'll see how it goes. But today is bake day, so yesterday after I'd done the stretch and folds, it sat for 3 to 4 hours until it got a bit of rise on it and fermented some more. And then I shaped it into a nice shape and put it in the fridge overnight, so then that really adds the flavour to it. And yeah, today we're going to be using the Ninja Combi, and let's see how this goes. This is a whole other bit that I'm not sure about. So I really, this might be a video of how loaves go wrong, and we'll run with it. So yeah, I'm putting 400 mils of water in here because that's what the instructions said. And oh, let's see how this goes. I think it was Combi Crisp. Oh, that's time to 30. 10 minutes. And this is like preheating and pre-steaming the oven, so I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, it's just finishing its warm-up cycle. Kind of really exciting mistakes I maybe made already. The dough is really sloppy, so I'm not confident about this at all. In fact, I don't think it's going to work out very well at all. So, yeah. The only way I'm going to learn how to do it is by learning how to do it. So let's see. It didn't set up this right, so we're just going to put one very flat loaf in there and see what happens. I set my timer, which is on my phone. See you in 20 minutes. Okay guys, it's not looking good. Not much of a rise. I'm thinking, you know, this might be, I'm going to age myself here, and I'm about to boil loaf of bread, but we'll see. That was kind of the pre-cook bit. Let's see what happens when I put it on to the next part. Start. Let's see. See you in 20 and see if this does anything more. I wanted to show you that it is actually rising quite a lot. So, oh, turn the light back on. Maybe we'll get something. I don't know, it might be really dense, but it is rising quite a lot. Okay, let's see how this is doing. It's getting very brown on the top. I'm not quite sure if it's cooked in the middle. Looks like it might be. This is definitely an about to boil loaf of bread. Yeah. Sometimes the loaves don't work out. But actually, I knew when I was working this dough later on in the process, I was like, oh, this is not forming as it should be. So I suppose this is a video of, you know, when things don't go to plan and they don't work out, and learning from it. And I think really what the problem here is still that the starter's not strong enough. Maybe a little bit of a wet dough, but yeah, not strong enough. And then with it not being perfect or sort of close to being as good as it could be, that like cooking it in this has not allowed it to even be as well as it could be. Because I was getting a good rise there at the end, and I think it being in a normal Dutch oven and in a normal oven, it might have done a little better, but it definitely looks like a flat pancake. We'll probably try it later and see how it is, because I don't like to waste it, and it still tastes good even if it's not quite, you know, a proper loaf. So there you are, how not to make sourdough. Or how to learn from your mistakes. And yeah, I'm going to keep feeding my starter and try again, and maybe we'll have a successful video at some point.